the music.
Welcome back to Anthony Lee Raw. Guys, we are live. It is Friday. Everybody loves a Friday. How is everyone doing? Everybody good? I hope everybody's good. We got a good one for you today. Maybe a little shorter stream today. I don't know. I'll be here as long as you guys need me to be here. If you have questions and stuff, we'll cover all that. I got a little bit of info for you. There is a poll in chat. Be sure you hit up the poll. Why am I asking about interest rates? Guys, why? Flashbang, too late. It's because next week we have FOMC. So I want to know what you guys think about interest rates. Right now it's a 64% chance we stay the same, which means a 36% chance they hike. They're not even considering a rate cut at this point. So I'm genuinely curious. I know I asked about rate cuts, but you know, basically they're not going to cut, most likely. But I want to know what you think. Are interest rates being cut bullish, bearish, or does it really not matter? I have the answer for you. I want to know what you think, though. Then we're going to talk about it. Let's see who's here, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. Jack, what's up, bro? Jack. Johnny, number 5, says, what's up, crew? Eons, good morning. Good morning. West Coast. Dude, what's up, bro? Ben Shaw, not even a good morning or hey, just a straight into this shit coin, Sky AI. Do I think it's undervalued? Probably. Everything's undervalued right now, right? Everything's down like 90+%. We might take a look at it if you're still here. The last couple times you came in and dropped a coin and bailed out on the stream, so if you're not here in a little bit, we're not looking at it. But if you are here, I'll be glad to take a look at it. I don't know anything about it. I've never looked it up before. So if you're still here in a little bit, you let me know. Hawkborn, good morning. Good morning. Bro, Hawkborn, I did legs again today. I did legs 2 days ago. I never do legs twice in 1 week. But I jacked up my elbow. A week or two ago. And it's really been giving me fits. And I've been pushing through on the upper body. But I don't know, dude. I just couldn't do it. So I went back to legs, which is probably even worse. Max, what's up? Max says, bro, those Damien and Bjorn indicators are the best ever. I feel like I'm cheating. Guys, if y'all don't have Damien and Bjorn, I really don't even know what you're doing with your life. And I'm not just trying to sell indicator. I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm telling you, I've been using Bjorn for years. A couple years anyway. But adding Damien to it, I'm not saying I can't lose a trade, but I'm going to have to try really hard to lose a trade. Especially if you combine them. Here's the problem with anyone using one or the other. You have to combine the other one. Don't stop getting greedy. Just use them together, and it's very hard to lose a trade. It's very hard. Damien tells you when the divergence is there, and Bjorn tells you if it's going your way. That's it. If Damien gives you the divergence and Bjorn doesn't tell you it's going your way, then why are you taking the trade? Don't do it. Just because of the divergence doesn't mean price is going to go your way. Bjorn tells you if it's going your way and how aggressively. You have to combine the two. I tried to create one master indicator that combines the two, but that's way above my pay grade. I couldn't figure it out. Salt Chain, good morning. Eon says, Max, same, too easy sometimes. I'm telling you, and I'm going to show you guys. But if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, get on over to AnthonyLeeRaw.com. Actually, I pinned a comment or a link in the chat there. I pinned it right to the indicators tab. Go to AnthonyLeeRaw.com. Go over to indicators. And you can get, I have 5 raw premium indicators in here. You can get all 5 for the price of 3, or you can buy them individually. There's a how-to video that goes with each one of them. They're lifetime access. It is not a subscription. You pay for it once, you get it for life, guys. Go get them both. Or you get all 5 for the price of 3. I'm telling you guys. There's no way you can't make, if you do them, there's no way you can't make way more than that back with your first trade. Miguel, what's up, bro? Morning, peeps. Happy Friday. Hawkborn or Lordy, what possessed you to do that? Oh, did I miss something? Ben Shaw says, good morning. There you go, bro. Well, if you're here in just a little bit, I'll take a look at your coin. We got to go over a couple things first. First off, I want to announce this. Catherine Jane posted it in Discord earlier. We were chatting about it in the VIP crew. We're going to do a workshop this Sunday at 12 noon Central Time. I will hit you with a link in chat right now if you want to register for this. This is a live Zoom Q&A. I think that's it. I probably should have just copied and pasted the link. Now that's it. We're going to do a live Zoom workshop, Q&A. You get on here with me. It's capped at 10 people so that I can answer everyone's questions. It is an hour and a half long. Once you submit your entry, your registration, you're going to fill out a little form. And you can ask questions. So if you can't be on the live stream, you can submit your questions right there, and I will go over your questions on the live stream, and you will get an email link after it's done so you can always watch it, okay? No one else will have access to this except the people that register. I'm going to answer your questions, whatever it is. Trading questions, market structure, trade entry, trade management, Bjorn and Damien indicator questions, market psychology questions, whatever you're struggling with. You're going to lose $35 on a trade anyway. Why do that and keep throwing darts at a wall? Just come ask your questions. And don't be shy. You're not the only one who has the questions. I guarantee you multiple people have questions. I have questions from time to time. So workshop's available. It is this Sunday. Once 10 people register, that's it. Nobody else will get in, so reserve your spot now. I posted the link. Go take care of it, guys. You know what to do. Back-to-back legs. All right, Hotborn, I got you. I don't know. It was stupid. I almost threw up. It was dumb. All right, guys. Bitcoin moving down. Let's dive in. We've kind of covered all of the housekeeping there. So Bitcoin's moving down. We took a short trade. Max gave the short trade in the VIP Discord the other day. Let me see if I can move it over. There's the short trade. Let me make it a little bigger for you guys. There you go. Short trade taken 66.7, okay. $1,500 realized profit. I am still long, and I'm going to talk about something with you guys. I am still long from 57.7. I've realized over $8,000 in this. This is, let's look down here. This is the low that we set. And I showed on Wrecked Influencer of the Day, another guy with a huge account, 300,000 subscribers. The dude was shorting right here. He was shorting right here, 58K, literally while we were longing, okay? He's a retard. I'm sorry. He is. It's true. We were longing $8,000. Why were we longing, guys? I don't know. We looked for this in advance. I'd given the green box in advance. However, as soon as we came down to the low, look what flashed. The Damien indicator. It told you, because when you're coming down here, you don't know. You're kind of in free fall mode. So many people were like, oh, God, here we go. 40K's incoming, sub 50K. Well, we knew better. We hit our target area, and we got the signal. We got the Damien signal. So, boom, all I did was enter a long. That's it. That's it. And then we throw on, let's look down below. So here's what I was telling you. Here's how you work the two indicators. I'm up over $8,000, guys. And if we go into a bull run, there's no telling how much you can make on this. I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying stop closing your trades. Some people in Discord took the trade there and closed it there. I'm like, what are you doing? There has been nothing to indicate you should close this trade. Nothing. Anyway, so you get the signal. That doesn't mean enter, okay? Here's where you combine the two, and here's how you do it effectively, okay? And I'll do this in more detail on the workshop. So you get the signal, and that is your alert. Like, oh gosh, we have confirmed divergences. You don't get the signal until it's confirmed. Confirmed divergences, and it tells you how many. This indicator measures 11 different divergences. You have 4 confirmed divergences. It tells you right there, 4 confirmed divergences, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 for those who can't count. And so that alerts you like, okay, we have the presence of confirmed divergency. We're at a key area, so it's probably going to play out. But how do you know if it's going to play out, and how do you know if it's going to play out aggressively, okay? How do you know if to stay into trade or do like some people did who are kicking themselves because they entered here with me and the rest of the crew, and then they got out there? How do you know? That's where you look at Bjorn, the other indicator you can get on AnthonyLeeRaw.com. Well, the multicolor line is volatility. When volatility is going up, that does not mean price is going up. That means price is moving aggressively in one direction or the other, okay? The dark line, the dark gray line you see, that is stochastic. That tells you the direction of price. So if volatility is headed up and stochastic is headed up, that means price is going up aggressively. and even more so aggressively because we have the Damien confirmed 4 counts of confirmed divergences, okay? So I knew when we got this Damien signal that, hey, we got the divergences there. Are we going to play out? Okay. Stochastics headed up, so we're going to play out. And are we going to play out aggressively, or are we just going to kind of dead cat bounce and roll over? And volatility expanding from the low and heading up told me this was going to be a big move up. So I took the trade, and I'm still in the trade, guys. And there's been nothing to suggest that we should get out. Even when you come over here and you see stochastic come down, I have not closed this trade because volatility is headed down. That means we're not moving down aggressively. We're just getting what I call lackluster, this little lackluster pullback, okay? Now, if stochastic were to stay down and volatility tick up, I would probably consider closing my trade because that tells me we're fixing to have one of these big, hard, aggressive moves down. But we have not gotten that yet. So there's nothing here. And furthermore, when we look over at the weekly time frame on Bitcoin, let me clear some of this up. Because you always want to work from high time frame down, right? Always high time frame down. We're getting, let me zoom in. We're getting volatility expansion, not quite. I'm a little premature here. Not quite, but we're trying to get volatility expansion above that orange line. This will not occur until possibly this Sunday. And at that time, I'm going to look at direction of stochastic. Right now, it's kind of headed down, but it's really more sideways, right? I mean, you can see technically it's kind of positioned down. But first of all, it's unconfirmed, but this is really down. This is more sideways. It's been kind of like this, and then this, and this, and this. So it's more, it's indecisive right now. It's indecisive. Sunday, when we get the close, this thing will choose a direction, and you'll get volatility expansion most likely, and that's the direction I want to trade, okay? But not now. It is unconfirmed. So that's how you use this. And on the weekly, also down here, same thing, 57.7-ish area here. We got the weekly divergence confirmed. Okay, these indicators are the best. You cannot find better. I don't care who you are. We're going to look at some of these. All right, so let's drop to the 1 hour. I'm going to show you one more P&L card. I've showed you two. I've showed you the short trade. And why do we take the short trade, by the way? Why do we take the short trade? Here it is. 4 hour. I typically only trade the 4 hour and up unless I'm scalping. I did take a 1 hour trade yesterday that I gave in the VIP Discord, but we got the 4 hour Damien, right? 4 hour Damien, right there. Volatility was headed down, but you got the signal, and the volatility ticked to the upside, and when it ticked to the upside, stochastic was headed down. I know those are ugly drawn arrows, but got volatility expanded with stochastic headed down, hence the big move to the downside on the 4 hour time frame. And that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. So I did take a counter trade to this yesterday, and I'll show you. Because I know some people trade this on the lower time frames, okay? I had given the green box. Okay, this green box is played out. Don't be taking this trade right now. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but this was from yesterday. I'm just going to move it over. It was like this, okay? Once a box has been hit, it's wiped out. I don't trade that box again. I mean, you can bounce from here, but I'm not trading it. So we came down into it. Right here, I'm on the 1 hour time frame. And we got the signal, and this was a little front run, and this is what I mean. A little front run here, and I took the trade like an idiot. I was really looking for daily naked point of control, but we got the signal, and volatility was headed up. Right, volatility was headed up. It was right here. This is how you don't use it, really. This is what I did wrong, but it played out for me. Volatility was headed up, and then we kind of bled down a little bit. I wasn't too worried about it. I knew we had the confirmed divergence, and I don't scalp very much. I knew we had the confirmed divergence, and I knew daily naked point of control was right below. Volatility started cooling off, which told me the move down, that we're moving down past my entry, was going to be lackluster. Remember that, lackluster. When volatility is headed down, the direction of the move is lackluster. It's weak. So I knew this wasn't going to be a big move down, so I didn't close the trade. I said, let's just see what happens when we hit daily naked. We hit daily naked, and if we look at what happened then, boom. I know I need to clear some of this up, guys. I'm just trying to show you guys how to be profitable traders here with these two indicators. As soon as we hit daily naked point of control, volatility ticked up and stochastic ticked up, and that told me my trade was fixing to play out. So I stayed in the trade. I didn't close it. Now, had volatility ticked up and stochastic turned down, I would have known we're fixing to fall through this level, okay? And I would have closed my trade. But I didn't, and then we had the key level that's been on the chart for months. That was just easy take profit. I closed the trade right there. Closed the trade right there. So just super easy. I got the Damien signal. Boom. I waited for volatility expansion, was stochastic to the upside. Boom. And that gave us this. Boom. And super simple, guys. I took this with a, there it is, $1,100. Little 30x leverage, $1,100. No problem, guys. That's how you use these two together. But again, you have to use them together. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do. I use them together. I haven't lost a trade in a little over 2 months. And I literally posted in Discord. I'll show you. I put this in Discord yesterday when I took the trade. Right here, I took the long 64,950. It's what I told the VIP Discord. And then I was kind of worried about it. I think I put it in the VIP chat. I was like, I hadn't lost a trade. I'm due for a loss. But I watched Bjorn. So even if I lost, it was going to be a negligible amount. I watched Bjorn. It played out. We're all good. And I told them, when the stochastic flipped and we got the volatility, the Bjorn flipped, I said 4-hour Bjorn ticked up. Now stochastic trying to tick up. If it can flip, I even highlighted it here. And once that thing flipped up, I knew my trade was fixing to play out. So I let you know along the way what I was doing and what I was thinking and what I was seeing. All right, let's look at July stats. And guys, we got August coming up in like a week. So a week from today, we'll be doing the August price predictions, right? Here's the July predictions. We nailed this. You could not. I would challenge you, if anybody can find somebody that nailed this on June 29th as well as we did, please send it to me and I will subscribe to their channel. I will invite them on my show. We haven't yet hit my prediction, which was here, but look, we called for the move to there. We called for that, and I even said on the 8th, I stress it just like that, on the 8th, we'll get a pullback, and this was on the 7th. Started on the 7th, pullback, and I kept calling it a dip, then rip. And that's exactly what we got, guys. You just can't do this. And this was not my opinion. I did this based on historical data. For those of you that are new, I have created these tables, these charts of historical data. What did Bitcoin do every single month of July? And I looked for trends and averages, and I put the data together, and that's all this was. That's all this was. And we traded it. We took this trade. We are still long. Well, we're long from right here. All right, guys. Let's get serious for a minute. It's that time. Wrecked influencers of the daytime. All right, guys. Today on the show, we have multiple wrecked influencers. We're just going to combine them into one category here, guys. One category. And I cannot be more serious when I tell you you'll get wrecked if you follow these people. It's silly face influencers. Don't do that, guys. Silly face influencers. Let's look at some of these guys. Let's look at some of these. People who do their thumbnails like this, guys, I want you to think about something, and I could not be more serious. I'm going to come back on camera. I want you to think about something. I could not be more serious. People listen to these guys. They have big channels, right? They have really big channels. I mean, look at this face. Look at this. Look at that. Look, he looks so confused. Just look at this. They look so confused. They're making all these faces. I can't find any good ones right now, of course. You all know what I'm talking about. There you go. There's one. Crypto Zombie. He's terrible. Don't follow him. Think about this, guys. Think about this, guys. I know it's crypto. I know crypto's different. But would you really walk into, like, I don't know, your JP Morgan Chase office and ask them about your portfolio and how to diversify and what you should invest in? And if the guy sitting across the desk went, I mean, would you listen to him? Seriously. Would you invest if they were like, I mean, no, you would think they're retards, and you get up and walk out. I should hope you wouldn't invest and listen to their financial advice. So why are you following people doing that? They're going to get you wrecked. And here's the problem. And I actually know one influencer who's really good, who does this on his thumbnails. But he legitimately has a big channel. He started his channel to make fun, to satire people like this. So everything he does is making fun of these types of people, right? And he does that intentionally. So with the exception of him, and he's really good, but he acts like a clown a lot of times, and he's entertaining, but he's actually mocking these people, okay? So with the exception of that guy, and I'm not going to say who that is, period, don't even ask. Don't follow these people. I couldn't be more. Can you imagine an executive at BlackRock and you know, somebody like Elon Musk walking in and wanting to invest, and they're like, I mean, what a retard. Really? And these are the people you want to take financial advice from. Really? Don't do that, guys. These guys are legit clown school enrollees, guys. You know that. Don't listen to them. You know what to do. If you follow somebody that posts that kind of stuff, you know what to do. I'll tell you a lot of the problem and how they get big channels too, okay? And this is sad. YouTube rewards novelty. You may have a small channel that's excellent. Very small channel. Can't grow. Can't do anything to grow. And then you may have a retard out there who's got 500,000 subs, who's posting thumbnails like that and shorts the bottom like the guy we looked at the other day. What was his name? That Martini guy who shorts the bottom. YouTube rewards novelty. The algorithm, they push novelty. They push entertainment, whereas they don't push consistency. And trading rewards consistency. So it's just a problem. It's a problem. Bitcoin moving down, guys. Bitcoin moving down. Big move down here, guys. Looks good, guys. Hope you guys are still in this trade. We gave this trade in the VIP Discord, guys. We gave this trade. Max gave it to you. Everybody chimed in. A lot of people took it. And if you're in the VIP Discord, there are 3 other professional traders in there. Max, John, and Brad. Not financial advice, but when they give trades, I take them blindly. And I don't take people's trades blindly. But I've been trading with those guys for years. I know at least Brad is planning to be on the workshop with us, so he can probably help out. Go join the workshop now. I will post the link one more time if you want to join our workshop. Let's take a look at our poll. Got a poll in chat. FOMC is next week. How bullish are rate cuts? 60% of you say mega bullish / those rates. I hope you guys stick around for this. I hope you let me show you something. I really hope. You're going to get misled by people, okay? People, and it's like we talked about, like with the Bitcoin dominance chart, like people that show you that are stupid. Bitcoin dominance has nothing to do with your altcoins at all. We've proven that. We showed that last week. I'm about to show you something because when it starts coming to interest rates, people are going to start to say a lot of things that are just not true. And I would venture to say that most of you are just going to believe them because it makes sense if you just think about it. But what makes sense often is not true. Interest rate cuts are not bullish. I know a lot of you are about to click off, but give me a few minutes. I'm going to show you. I'm not just going to say it like a lot of people say, oh, we need rate cuts. It's bullish. Here we go. No, interest rates cuts are not bullish, guys. They may be bullish on that day with some, degen leverage traders. You may get a reaction, for a day or two, but they're not bullish, guys. And I'm fixing to prove it to you. You do not want interest rates cuts, okay? You don't want it. I'm telling you. And a lot of people, a lot of these retards would just argue with me, influencers argue with me, rather than just pulling up the chart and looking. And that's what we're going to do. So give me just a few minutes, and I'm going to show you, rather than just telling you what the problem is, I'm going to show you what is bullish and what we do need. West Coast says, Casper, I give a pass because he clowns on purpose. That's the one I was talking about, bro. He started his whole channel, and his shtick was to mock influencers. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. He gets a pass. He's fantastic. All right, let's look at this, guys. Stick with me. I want you to see this. I'm about to show you the messiest chart ever, and then we're going to simplify it down, okay? Look at this. Look at this chart. So on this chart, we have Bitcoin up top. The green is inflation. Net liquidity, because you're going to hear people say all this. When rate cuts finally come and Bitcoin does not go up, people are going to start saying, oh, well, it's because of net liquidity, or it's because of the Fed balance sheet, or inflation. It's none of that stuff, guys. Okay? You cannot find rhyme or reason out of this chart, period. I simplified it to another chart here. Let me show this real quick. This Bitcoin here, so when Bitcoin is going up, you cannot find any consistency, no trend to the rest. Sometimes Bitcoin goes up when inflation goes down. Sometimes Bitcoin goes up. Look at there, number 3, when inflation goes up. Inflation goes down on number 4. Bitcoin goes down. There's no rhyme or reason. Even the most recent, too, there's no rhyme or reason. Same thing with net liquidity. The first two, Bitcoin up, liquidity up, okay? Then you got Bitcoin up, liquidity down. Then you down, up, down, up, sideways. There's nothing. There's nothing. None of this. None of this is consistent. There's only one consistency out of all this, and I'm going to show you. Let's look at these real quick. I'm going to go real quick through this, and I'm going to show you what actually matters. Let me show you, let me take some of this off real quick. All right, so here you have interest rate and Bitcoin, okay? I need you to follow me, guys. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked. If you want a bull run, you need to pay attention, okay? You're going to get misled. You're going to get wrecked. And again, interest rates getting cut. You may get a bullishness for a day or two, but... Okay, look here. Interest rates going sideways, Bitcoin going up. Interest rate, look at this. Interest rates going up. I'm back in 2017, 2018. Look, interest rates going up. Bearish, right? Right? That's what they're going to tell you. Bearish. Not massive bull run. Interest rates going up. Not bearish. I'm not saying it's great, but it had no effect whatsoever, right? You follow me? How about this? Interest rates going down. What happened? Bitcoin going down, okay? Interest rates flatten out. Bitcoin goes up. Interest rates go up. Bitcoin goes down. Well, that makes sense. That's bearish, right? Interest rates go up. Bitcoin goes down. Okay, well, it wasn't bearish here, though. So that means it's not consistently bearish or bullish. It's done both. Interest rates go up. Bitcoin goes down. Interest rates go up. Bitcoin goes up. Okay? Here you go. Interest rates have been going down. Sideways down, sideways down. But interest rates have been trajecting down for, oh, I don't know, what is this? Since about a year, right? You see that? About a year, headed down. What's up? Bitcoin's going down. It's not bullish, guys. Interest rates going down is not bullish, okay? Perfect example right here. Look, right here. Interest rates going down right here. Let's trace it up. I'll just do a vertical line on it so you can see. Interest rates went down right there. Boom. What happened? Bitcoin went down. It's not bullish. It is not bullish. Don't listen to those people. They won't pull this chart up and show you. I'm going to show you what it is, though. But hang on. Give me 1 second. So then when that doesn't work out for them, they're going to say, oh, it's inflation. It's inflation. Okay, let's look at inflation. All right. Same thing. No consistency here, guys. No consistency. And you have to understand this. If you care about macro portfolio and not just 5-minute leverage trading, you have to understand this. No consistency. Look, green arrow, inflation headed down, Bitcoin headed up. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Inflation's headed down, Bitcoin's headed up. Oh, whoa, hang on. Bitcoin's headed down here. What's inflation doing? Headed down. Well, that doesn't make sense. So that correlation's broken. Oh, look. Inflation headed up. Bitcoin's got to be headed down, right? Look, inflation's headed up. Nope. Bitcoin's moving up in a massive bull market. Well, that doesn't make sense. Shouldn't that be bearish for Bitcoin? Inflation's headed up. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Look at here. Bitcoin headed up. This is our most recent market. Bitcoin headed up. Inflation headed down. That makes sense, right? That makes sense, right? Well, what about right here, this bull market, right here? Inflation headed up the entire time, but we had a massive bull run. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So when that doesn't work out for folks, they're gonna tell you something else. They're gonna say, well, it's the Fed balance sheet. It's the Fed balance sheet. That's what matters. When the Fed is adding to their balance sheet, Bitcoin goes up, period. Period. So if the Fed is taken off of their balance sheet, then Bitcoin can't go up. Ask them to show it to you on the chart. Okay, so when the Fed is removing from their balance sheet, Bitcoin's got to go down, right? That's the whole argument. When Fed's adding the balance sheet, price goes up. Well, hang on. Fed's removing from the balance sheet this entire last bull run. Balance sheet going down, Bitcoin going up. How does that make sense? Oh, well, maybe I had it backwards then. Maybe I had it backwards. Maybe when the Fed adds their balance sheet, then it go, well, hang on, Fed added their balance sheet here and Bitcoin went up. So Bitcoin goes up whether the Fed adds to the balance sheet or takes away from the balance sheet. No consistency, guys. None. This doesn't work. Nobody's going to show you this stuff. They're just going to put it out there and spoon feed you and people swallow it when all you got to do is pull it up on the chart. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Okay? Let me show you what actually matters. You're going to have those people who really deep dive and tell you net liquidity matters. Net liquidity is what matters. Why am I not seeing this? My net liquidity is not wanting to pull up. I'm getting the arrows, but not the chart. That's okay. There it is. It's got to be the net liquidity, right? It's got to be the net liquidity. Well, when liquidity rises, then that means more money to go into the market. So liquidity goes up, net liquidity goes up. That's more money can flow into Bitcoin, right? Well, I don't know. It's been going up here for the last 6-7 months, and Bitcoin's been going down. There was nothing added in net liquidity here. Literally sideways, Bitcoin went up. Here, net liquidity went down. Bitcoin went down. Here, net liquidity was going down while Bitcoin was rampaging into a... There's no consistency. All right. So we've dismissed all the nonsense that you're about to start hearing as we head into midterms and they start talking about inflation and interest rates. It's all nonsense. Let me show you what matters, okay? Let me show you what matters. And I'm just proving it to you. These are not my words. Let me show you what matters. The only time, period, that Bitcoin has gone up, period, is when interest rate is flat. Period. And that's not to say it can't go down when it's flat. You know, there's ebbs and flows in the market, liquidity grabs, people take a profit. But the only time, period, you've had any significant run in the market is when interest rate is flat. It doesn't matter if it's flat low, flat in the middle, or flat high. It doesn't matter. Those are the only times you have Bitcoin running, period. This is on the monthly chart, guys. All of these have been on the monthly chart. Hang on, let me, boom. All right, let's look here. So we're all the way back in like 2011, 2012, 2013. Interest rates are flat. Bitcoin's running. Then you have the pullback. You can have that little, but you can have the pullback here, right? That's just some profit taking and stuff. But notice interest rates stayed flat, so it didn't pull back long, and then boom, rampaged off into another bull run, okay? Pay attention. I'm going to tell you why in a second, too. Okay, and then what happened? Interest rates started going up, right? Bitcoin started coming down. Why did they go up again? When did they go up again, more importantly? When interest rates flattened out. It doesn't matter that they were elevated, right? It didn't matter that they were higher than they were here. They were higher here, but they flattened out and Bitcoin ran again. Now what happened? What happened after that, guys? Here's where it gets interesting, okay? Bitcoin started coming down. They ran for a little while when they flattened out. But what happened? Interest rates started getting cut. Well, hang on, Anthony. I thought all the influencers tell me that interest rates getting cut is bullish. Lowering rates is bullish. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not bullish, okay? It may be bullish that day, but it's not bullish. And I'm proving it to you, okay? If anybody can prove me otherwise, by all means. Okay, well, it went down, rates went down, price went down. Oh, boom, then it went back up. Cool. That's proof right there. No. What happened, guys? What happened? Interest rates flattened back out. They went flat. Then up nor down, Bitcoin ran. Okay? All right, and you come over here and look, interest rates started going up. Here's what they're going to say. Look, rate increases, Bitcoin came down. Well, we've just shown that doesn't matter, right? Interest rates went up right here, massively went up, and Bitcoin massively went up. That doesn't matter. Yeah, prices coming down when interest rates are going up, but it doesn't matter. We just showed that interest rates coming down is also bearish, okay? So it came down, and then it started going back up again. Why? What happened? Why did it start going back up again, guys? What happened? Interest rates flattened out. So Bitcoin ran, right? You had a little pullback right here. It's not a huge pullback, but you pulled back from, what was that, 110K to 72K. It's a pretty damn big pullback, actually. What happened? What happened right here in this little baby pullback? It looks baby, but if we extended it, it's $30,000 pullback. What happened? Interest rates went down, but I thought that was bullish. Let me do the stupid. I thought that was bullish rate cuts. No, guys, it's not bullish. It is not bullish. Well, then Bitcoin got one more little pump up right there. Boom, that final little pump up to 126K. What happened, guys? Rates flattened back out. You have to understand this because all the retards out there are going to try to tell you rate cuts are bullish. Prove it to me. You can't do it. I just showed how you can't do it. I understand you may get a 4 or 5% pump on Bitcoin that day, but that's because people are stupid. Right? I just proved it to you. So this is what we want. We want to see what's happening right now. Rates have been flat for a couple months now. Okay? This is what we want to see, guys. I've proven it to you. I've proven it. Proven it. This is what we want, rates to stay flat, okay? And sometimes it takes 4 or 5 months of being flat before you do anything, guys. So, like, look here. Let me see. So you flatten out here, right? You flatten out here. I mean, it took you from the time you went flat there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and then you lift off. So a little 5 months of sideways and then lift off, okay? Let's look at the next one. You flatten out there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. By month 6, boom, You lift off by right there. By month 6, you lift off. Okay, I know you kind of ease. This is more sideways and up, and then boom. It took you 6 months of being flat before you look. It's not just okay, let's flatten this month. The next month we're going to take off. It took 6 months. Okay, here it took. You flatten out there. 1, 2, 3. Third month you started taking off. Okay, so it's taken 3 months, 5 months, and 6 months. And how far are we in it now? Flatten out there. 1, 2. I can't see. Hang on. Sorry. Let me do this again. My cursor was in the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We're 5 months into flat, guys. This is what we want. We don't want to hike, nor do we want to cut. We want to stay flat. You should want to stay flat, guys. Because you can't show a time where Bitcoin was definitively running unless it was flat. So don't listen to the people who are telling you rate cuts are bullish. It's not true. It's not true. We want rates to stay flat. Do you know why that is, though? I'll tell you more than anything. Bitcoin's a risk-on asset, okay? It means it's more volatile. It's more risky, more risky. People hate more than anything in markets, and you know this, we've discussed this, people hate uncertainty. They hate it. They like knowing or like thinking they know. They like stability, okay? When rates are moving up or moving down, there's usually outside influences causing the adjustment, right? War, inflation, tariff, whatever it is, causing this rate cut or rate hike. But either way, if you're dropping rates or you're raising rates, it's not stable. And for people to invest in, especially in risk-on assets, they want stability. They want the waters to be calm. We've shown they don't care if the waters are calm down low, or the waters are calm in the middle, or the waters are calm up at this crazy high interest rate. They don't really care. They just want it to be calm, right? And that makes sense. If I'm going to like let my guard down a little and invest in some risk-on stuff, I don't want swings one way or the other. I just want predictability. So all of you praying for rate cuts, stop. And pray that they leave it the same for a year. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I hope some of you found some value in this segment, guys. I spent a lot of time putting this together. But I want you guys to know the truth. And I also want you guys, when you're watching other people, because I know you do, and they come on and they start saying this stuff, don't just absorb it and eat it up. Go look. Go look. And if what they're saying is not true, then they're just making stuff up. More likely they're regurgitating something they heard somewhere else. And I just don't do that. If somebody says something, I go look it up. I go look. It didn't take but about 2 seconds of pulling both of these charts up to realize that they're full of shit. That they didn't look up at all. They heard it from somewhere, or it just kind of makes sense. You know, if I thought about it, interest rates going down, that sounds bullish to me. Interest rates going up, that sounds bearish to me. It just makes sense. But it's not true. Questions on that, guys? Questions? Let's check in on chat. Eons would not have expected that. Yeah, if you just told me, it took me a long time. I've heard this for years, and I didn't look this up until about a year ago. I mean, you just never, it sounds like such common sense that rates going down would be bullish that you wouldn't even think to look it up. But it's not bullish. And then you sit there on FOMC day and rates do get cut, price rips to the upside that day. So you think, yeah, that's right, it's bullish. But it's not. That's just people getting liquidated. Bottom is in for VeChain. VeChain is one of the worst cryptos I've ever seen in my life. It is. VeChain is very likely going to zero after this cycle. I know it's on the mat at UFC. I'm sorry, bro. You're going to hate me. Thumbs down the stream. Thumbs down the stream. That's okay. VeChain is terrible. All the UFC guys. Gosh, I know. Dana White. VeChain looks awful. West Coast, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, think about it. Stability. Volatility. People hate uncertainty in the market. That's why when the bombs dropped in Iran, everything tanked, right? Everything. I mean, everything. Stock market, everything dumped for about a week, 2 weeks. And then when things didn't get any better or worse, they didn't escalate or de-escalate. They just kind of stayed flat. It's like, okay, dropping a few more bombs today. Everything started kind of going back up. Because the water's, yes, there's war, so it's not calm water, but it wasn't a shock. It wasn't that initial like, oh, what's going on? Because when anything changes, people run and panic and pull everything from the market. The way of the world, as of now, is still, in times of uncertainty, turn to cash. Now, I believe that those days are numbered, but as of now, that's the way it is. Yeah, Hawkborn, once again, proving how important it is to actually look at the charts. Yeah, just look at the charts. That's all you got to do. And then you won't get misled. So this, we want to see this going forward to stay as high as possible for remaining the current rate. And that's not looking good. Matter of fact, by September, there's a 55% chance, as of now, of a rate hike. So this is not looking good. But I don't believe that. I don't believe these charts, and we've discussed why. With Kevin Warsh in office, I do not think they hike rates. And more than anything, besides the stability thing, I think the stability thing is number one, most important. But why rate cuts would not be bullish is because the Fed is already always late to the party. By the time they come in and cut rates, the damage is done. So cutting rates is usually trying to fix a problem. They never cut rates for the right reason. All right, guys. Title of the thumbnail today, bull run on the horizon. I think we're very close to a bull run, guys. So we just looked at the rates, and I think we've been in here for about 5 months or so with steady rates. I think if this can stay steady, you could see one of these. We've just shown it's taken several months. I mean, look, even back here at the beginning of Bitcoin, rates were flat for, I don't know, about 8 months before you took off. You have to stay flat for some time, and then people get cool. Okay, I think we're very, very close in the next month or two, guys, to kick it off into a new bull run. Let me show you. I've showed you this before, but this is total 2 overlaid with the Russell 2000. Okay, the Russell 2000 is the candles total 2, which is all of cryptocurrency minus Bitcoin. And there's only been a few times in history, or the history of crypto, this is going back to 2019. There's only been a few times that you have gapped up. The Russell's gapped up from crypto significantly, okay? And it looks like they ran together here, but they didn't. If you see, the Russell actually started running. I'll mark it out for you. The Russell started running here, and crypto, which is the blue line, didn't start running until there. Okay, so by the time crypto started running, the Russell was already way up here, right? From right here. Then crypto started running, okay? So this took some time, guys. But then when it did start running, you can clearly see that crypto played catch up in a massive freaking hurry. Then you had to pull back, and it stayed gapped for a little while longer. It stayed gapped for a little while. I hope I didn't just mess this up. Gap for a little while longer. And when it stayed gap, the important part is the Russell, the candles did not come down. The Russell stayed elevated. So it's like crypto thought, okay, we're going down. The Russell said, no, we're not. And crypto went, okay, boom, and played catch up again really, really fast. Same thing here. Russell went up, crypto stayed flat, and then it said, okay, I'm just kidding, like the little brother tagging along, like, here I come, boom. like a little dog chasing you behind. Well, look where we are now, guys. It's like crypto said, okay, we're going down, and the Russell said, no, we're not. I'm telling you guys, if that interest rate can stay flat for a few more months, it wouldn't surprise me to see that. And I showed this, first of all, we're looking at it right now on the total 2 market cap, but I showed this specifically on Fetch AI on a video last week. And by the time when Fetch decided in November of 22 that it wanted to play catch up, the Russell was way up here, Fetch was way down here, as were a lot of alts. Fetch between November to January, that's 2 months, Fetch did a 10x. That is bear market November to January. We're about to be in bear market November. I'm not saying that's exactly going to happen again, but that is exactly how it happened last time. Okay? And that was, I can spread it out a little. It may not look exactly the same because this is not the Fetch chart. That was right here. Right in here. Boom. That was the blue line. That was this move up. Now, this is total too. This includes all of crypto minus Bitcoin. So Fetch's blue line is a little bigger up because it was a little more bullish. But this is the average of all the alts. So all of them in that couple month period played very, very, very fast catch up. Boom. This is a lot bigger than it looks. That's what she said. Here it is on Fetch. Right here. There it is on Fetch. This green box. That's when Fetch played catch up. And this was the same green box I just showed you when Fetch played catch up right there. Started in November. Boom. 10x by January. Right there. Straight line up. That's what happened the last time the Russell got gapped from crypto. And guys, we have a massive, massive gap right here, right now. Just don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. It's coming. I don't care if we have to wait till November. It's coming, guys, especially if that interest rate can stay flat. I put out a cool video yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it. Go check it out if you didn't on the page. The Ethereum major bull run signal flashing, okay? Don't get caught up in so much on what happens day to day. Like, who cares if crypto's down 2% today? Who cares? It's look at the big picture. Always zoom out. I always tell people, always zoom out. Let's go look at ETH. I don't look at ETH very much. Let's look at ETH. Let's look at Damien. I think I saw somebody in Discord say if the ETH pulled back to this point of control, they were going to long. Okay, so ETH on the weekly time frame got the Damien signal. Okay, let's look at Damien. Guys, you're not going to find better indicators than this. Period. Period. Look at these macro calls it gave you on ETH. Look at these macro freaking calls. Get it, AnthonyLeeRaw.com. Look at these macro calls. Macro calls. Look at this, macro calls. You're still in this one, but we just got the macro, the weekly Damien Green buy signal. The last one of these we got was the bottom of the bear market. It was bull market on the last time we got this, okay? Not saying that's exactly what's going to happen this time, but I'm just telling you what happened last time. So what do we want to, and since we've gotten the signal on ETH, you've gotten a move up of 26% just from that signal. That's it, Damien signal. You will not find this indicator anywhere else. You can't do it. All right, but here's what's more interesting about that, okay? Here's what's more interesting. Looking down at Bjorn, you got this 26% move up on ETH. Here's what intrigues me. Here's what excites me about what I've just been telling you guys. You got this 26% move up on ETH while volatility was headed down. We've already discussed in the show today, volatility headed down on Bjorn means lackluster move. If 26% is lackluster, I'm excited because weekly volatility just ticked to the upside with stochastic pointing to the upside. Look at that, guys. It's unconfirmed. It will confirm with this Sunday's close. But think about that. You just moved up 26% right here. I'll line it out with the vertical. From that signal with volatility headed down. You're still under the same signal. I don't care that you're pulling back today. Nothing goes straight up forever, right? Right? I mean, even this big move up here, you had several weeks here of pullback, right? Matter of fact, it wouldn't surprise me at all to come back here, back test point of control, and then go. But you're getting this unconfirmed. You got a 26% move with this headed down, and now you're headed up. With the confirmed, these are confirmed Damien signals, by the way. They're not unconfirmed. Those are confirmed. The unconfirmed is Bjorn tick to the upside. Knowing this signal and what it gave you last time you got it, knowing the gap in the Russell, knowing what happens when interest rates stay flat, if this doesn't excite you, then you're in the wrong business. And it's a weekly signal. I mean, that means it's not going to play out in 4 hours. I mean, the last time you got the weekly signal, it took you a long time, a lot of weeks, right? But this is also Ethereum. It's a little slower. If you get this kind of set up on like a fetch, you get a 10x in 2 months. You're not going to get a 10x out of ETH, period. So, but ETH leads the way. Even if ETH only does a 100% rally, some of your other alts could do a 400, 500, 600% rally. So you want ETH doing well, guys. Now, other alts don't necessarily need ETH for themselves to do well. But Ethereum doing well certainly does not hurt the market. You want ETH doing well. This should excite you guys. Anybody have any questions? Any questions, comments? I think we've done a pretty good job at looking at some macro stuff today. Bitcoin pulled back all the way back to 64K. Short trade given to you here. This on the daily. We took it in the Discord on the 4-hour time frame. Took this Damien short trade. Look at this 4 hour. This 4 hours money, guys. This is usually what I trade on the Discord. Look at this 4 hour money, guys. Money. Boom. Money, 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 money. We're still in this one. We are still in this one. Realized 8K already. You can't do it. You cannot find a better indicator than this. You can't do it. You get the signal. Look at volatility down low on Bjorn. Volatility is in the red. It is maxed out. That means big, aggressive move. Which way? Damien says up. You get the sell signal here on Damien. Look down below. Bjorn is maxed out in the red. That means max volatility, massive move down. It's that easy. AnthonyLeeRaw.com. Indicators tab. Go watch them. Nice charts. Tau buy zone, please. I don't know if I have a buy zone on Tau. Let's go look. Look at Damien on Tau, guys. Look at this. Give the Tau buy signal here. Oh, I don't know. A little 130% move up. Sell signal there. 25% move down. Sell signal there. 42% move down. Buy signal here. 37% move up. You can't beat this, I'm telling you. Tau buy signal or buy zone. Well, oh gosh, if you lose this 786, it is not looking good for Tau. If you lose this 786, about the best you can hope for here is a swoop of this low. If you don't take this low right here and then immediately bounce, you could liquidity grab here and bounce. I don't know if you will or not. You could liquidity grab here and then bounce. But if you don't quickly bounce from here, you've already lost, you're losing your 786 right now, then you're coming for the lows. Period. So what you need to be hoping for, so what I would look for, you're going to liquidity grab this, period. In my opinion, you're going to liquidity grab this. What I would do, if it was me, which I don't trade altcoins, usually. I don't leverage trade them anyway. But what I would do, I would watch for Tau to lose this level, which I think it's going to do. I'm on the weekly time frame. And then I would wait for you to close a weekly back above it. And if I were going to take the trade, then I would long that. Because then you could have a swing failure pattern of this. But what I really do is wait for the Damien indicator to give you the signal. Because right now you have weekly expansion on Bjorn. Volatility is headed up. While stochastic is headed down. That is super bearish. But most of that could be played out by now by this candle. You've already, since you've gotten this, you've already moved down about 8%. That's the best you can hope for. If you don't want to, if you do not SFP, if you do not swing failure pattern this, let me go to the daily. Good little trade given there on the 12-hour. If you do not swing failure pattern this, you're coming for that low. In my opinion. You have relatively equal lows here. Liquidity grabs there. Here's what you got to watch, bro. I'm serious. You could grab this. You could grab this. Bam, bam. Okay, you could do that. But if you don't immediately pull up here, you're not going to stop until you get down here. And the reason being, people won't notice this, but you have relatively equal lows here, which is not very far below that. So if you come into these relatively equal lows, you're going to have a liquidity spike quickly through this. Boom, 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 boom. And you're going to come right down to these lows here. This is going to be a fast move down. If you lose this box, right here, you're going to fast move down to at least $140. I hope that helps. Bob, can you tell us more about Fetch? What do you want to know about Fetch, bro? I'm not being smart. I'm being serious. Fetch is my favorite coin. It is my largest holding. You should get in the VIP Discord. We talk about Fetch all the time. But what do you want to know about it? It is my favorite coin. I've done more. I don't know if you go over to the channel, but I've done more Fetch videos than anything else by far. There's a Fetch versus Nosana just the other day. There's two Fetch videos right there. Another Fetch video right there. Fetch is my coin. Moin Marcus, what's up, bro? I'm glad you're here, man. Johnny says, Damien and Bjorn are amazing guys. Yeah, I'm telling you, best indicators ever. You will never find indicators that will profit you like these two. Get on over, guys. AnthonyLeeRaw.com. You can't get them anywhere else. I wish Invicta was here. He would tell you scalpers how much money they are. He's in our VIP group. He's a scalping machine. Does Caspa have any future? I like Caspa. I think Caspa looks well. I have Caspa videos. Come over here. Look, guys, check this out. If y'all don't know, like I do these altcoin videos. First of all, two things. Number one, when I do these altcoin videos, if you go watch them, I'm telling you, because you're going to be upset if I stop doing videos on them, thumbs up the video. If that thumbs up and thumbs down are your way of giving me feedback. If I don't get enough thumbs up on a particular altcoin, I'm going to remove it from the rotation because there's lots of other alts I could be doing. And I don't want to do altcoin videos if people aren't wanting to see them. So be sure you give a thumbs up if you want me to keep that video in the rotation. Okay, that's all. I'm not asking you to pay me. Just give me feedback with a thumbs up or a comment, thumbs up, comment, whatever. Thumbs down if you don't like it. But that's how I know if to keep them in. But check it out. So you can go to the page, go to the YouTube page here, go to videos. And if you don't want to just scroll, just type in your coin. Like type in fetch, right? And press enter, and it's going to bring up all the fetch videos that I've done. Okay, so you can easily find them that way. Or you can type in like Caspa, and it pulls up the Caspa videos that I've done, right? So I don't know if you know you can do that. But Rahul, Caspa, yeah, I like Caspa. I like Caspa just fine. There's a lot of coins I don't, but I think Caspa's fine. I'll show you my Caspa chart, but get on over there and watch those videos. I like Caspa, and I'm not fixing to go into the big macro explanation, but I like Caspa to a $8 billion market cap. To about a 28 to 30 cent Caspa. So a 10x or so from here. I like it. I like it just fine. And you could come lower too and get even better entry. But yeah, I like Caspa just fine. Bob, I think the chart of fetch looks great. Here's where a lot of people get things wrong, in my opinion, or maybe I'm wrong, but I don't care if I'm wrong. That's the thing. Let's say, here's where a lot of people are going to, in my opinion, mess up. I say this all the time. Let me clear this up a little. I'm going to show you this, though. Matter of fact, I put out a bull, a conservative, and a bear case video. But check this out. So and I'm not fixing to do the whole rundown, but just listen to me. Listen to my logic, okay? And maybe I'm wrong. But fetch is way down here, okay? Pretend like, okay, here's the last cycle, right? Here's the last cycle right here. Last cycle low area. And here's the last cycle high, 350. All right. Let's say we go a little lower this time, okay? Let me hide some of this. I think you guys need to understand this. I can't get these to turn off. There's arrows there. I guess I could erase them. All right. So here's my theory on it, okay? Let's say we're going to go lower this cycle. I don't know if we are or not, but let's say we are, okay? That would be like us being like right in here right now, right? And then later we went lower, okay? I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be upset if we go down 20, 30% here when Fetch did a 6,500% rally. Right? Like, are you really going to care if you sell up here, whether you bought here or whether you got in there? It's not going to matter. What is going to matter is not every altcoin went lower last cycle, okay? Not this little dip that Fetch had later, right? Let me swing this around. This little dip right here, not every altcoin did that last cycle. Some altcoins held up and went. So I don't know if Fetch is going to do this again. I don't know. But I project Fetch going to $4.35, and I can tell you, I'm not going to give one little damn if I bought here and it goes lower and I could have bought there. Like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? What is going to matter is if Fetch is one of these, like Ethereum, XRP, Doge, the list goes on and on, last time that did not go lower, and I'm waiting for lower. Let's say I'm waiting for lower and it doesn't go lower. And instead, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to buy lower. I'm going to buy lower. Okay, here we go. We're going lower. We're going lower. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. We're going lower. We're going lower. Oh, no, we're not going lower. And I have to buy there. That's what's going to matter. Because I got greedy right here. I'm not getting greedy. This is low enough for me. That's just the way I look at it. You're not going to see me panic if I invest and we go down 30%. Before we go up 2,000%. I'm cool. You're going to hear me freak out if I wait on lower and have to FOMO in later because I got greedy. Actually, you won't hear that from me because I'm already in Fetch. In fact, I bought more Fetch yesterday. So that's just my opinion on it. That's just how I view it. Yes, Eon's workshop is this weekend, Sunday. Join the workshop. Go to the website, anthonyleeraw.com, right there, workshop. Boom, you join it right here. It's a live Q&A Zoom session with me. Ask whatever questions you want to ask. Psychology, trading, market structure, technical analysis, portfolio, you want me to review your portfolio, whatever. Indicators. You want to get better at Damien and Bjorn? Get Damien and Bjorn right here. Go get these freaking indicators, guys, if you want to do well. And then come ask questions about them if you have questions. Watch the how-to videos on them. I want to help you guys. But you got to get in the workshop for me to help you. Otherwise, I just tell you what I think you want to know. This is your opportunity to tell me what you specifically are struggling with. Yes, Sunday. And if you can't make the live, submit your questions when you register, and I will answer them on the live, and you'll get the link so you can go back and watch your questions be answered. So yeah, Bob, I hope that helps you, bro. Go watch the Fetch videos too. I love Fetch. Get in the Discord, man. We trade Fetch. Love to have you. I like having Fetch fans in there. Okay, guys, any more questions before we get out of here? It's been a good stream. I didn't look at Ben Shaw's coin, but Ben Shaw left. I told him if he left, I wasn't looking at it. He does that. Why do that? Why drop in a chat and ask for an altcoin and then bounce out before they answer it? I'm going to look it up, but I'm not going to say anything about it. What did he say? Spy AI? Why are the moons on? I hope I didn't save this. Spy AI, is that what he said? Sky AI. Sky AI? There's one Damien signal on Sky AI. One. This coin's so new, it was one signal. And since it gave the signal, it's down 96%. You guys need this indicator, guys. You know how much money you can make on a 96%? If you got $1,000 on 100x leverage on this one signal, you just made $96,000. And it's giving you no signal to get out yet. All right, guys. Well, if there's no more questions, we're going to roll. Get on over to the website. Go back and watch the interest rate stuff because you're going to start hearing all this chatter next week with FOMC. It's bullshit. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be in Discord if you need me. Chat me up. I love you guys. The Lord loves you. We will see you guys next time.